New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring.
Hello and welcome back to Global Focus. Today I am Reverend Dr. Sharri Johnston, your host. And this week we have, I know I say this every week, but this week I really mean it. Two of my favorite people in the whole world here as guests at the same time. These two are amazing, talented, brilliant, and spirit just pours out of them. So you're going to have the best time ever. Please help me welcome Reverend Dr. Melissa Phillipe and Reverend Z. Egloff. Yay!
Yay! Hello.
Y'all have the most amazing ministry. I love the name of it. Oh my God, life. I mean, I love that. I love that I get my little daily fix of memes from y'all. But what I love most, two things. And I want you to talk about, you can talk about anything you want, but be sure you don't leave these two things out. Okay. One of them is prayer weaves. That is a concept I never heard of before, and I absolutely adore it. When I see that come across my email, I just jump up and down. And the other one is your Oh My God process. I bought the book. I followed the book. I love that process. So I want you to talk about that in some detail, please. Okay. And by just telling us who you are and how you got here.
Awesome. Well, my name is Z. Egloff. I'm a minister with Centers for Spiritual Living, and I've done a bunch of things before I became a minister. I was a social worker, and should we get closer together?
Nope, she's got it.
There we go. I was a social worker, writer,
published
administrator,
author.
Public health, did a bunch of different things, but just finally went back to school and became a minister, and it's like everything. So that's kind of, that's a very short thumbnail of my background. Well,
and mine, my technical name is Reverend Dr. Melissa Phillipe, and the doctor's because of music, which is how I started in music.
Well, I have to say, because she's not going to toot her own horn, I will toot it for her. She got an honorary doctorate for all her contributions to the field of New Thought music. So they gave an honorary doctorate. I believe it was in 2010, actually. I'm not totally sure.
I know but I think
it was 13 years ago. Yeah.
It was
well deserved. It was.
Thank you.
And just so you know, folks, I have all of Reverend Z's books. I've read them all. They are wonderful. You can't go wrong reading her fiction.
Yes, I was a fiction writer before I started doing spiritual stuff.
Yeah. The spiritual stuff is really cool too, but I really enjoyed the fiction.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I actually have 2 other books that are pretty much done that I think we're just going to publish under our Oh My God Life publication and then offer those for.
Well, if you need reviewers, let me know.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you. One of the things I love about Z's writing, in particular those books, because they're longer, is it's not that often that I have this experience where I get toward the last quarter of the book. I like don't let myself read it as much because I don't want it to end. But Z's books are like that for me, and that's a rare thing for me. I'm picky with my authors. If I happen to find the best one,
Well, thank
And
you.
the other thing I like about them is I do that too, by the way, is slow down and I ration my reading.
Yep.
So I don't run out too fast. And one of the things I love about these books is that I'm smarter than the average bear. I can almost always figure out what's going on before I get to those last two chapters, but I can never figure out what's going on. I never know what's going to happen on the last page till I get to the last page. That's cool.
That's cool.
This is awesome. Thank you for that encouragement too, because fiction is something I did and then sort of let go of.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, I have these two novels that are, one's pretty much all the way done. The other needs just a few revisions.
So good.
And those actually have more overtly spiritual themes, which is one reason why it would make sense to publish those and have those as part of our, like at our table.
They're in the queue, but we have a queue because we have so many.
We have a
things
lot
we're
of
doing.
books in the.
And
now we're home for a while, but anyway, you didn't get to
I was
finish
going, yes,
your
music. So I came to Centers for Spiritual Living. At the time, it was Church of Religious Science, long time ago, as a music director first, and then learned more about the philosophy and fell in love with it. Well, yeah, I mean, I was one of those people who walked into the room and went, this is the church? Like the people talk about this stuff that I believe in, and they call it church, So I was one of those people. And then I got this ongoing booking on Sunday mornings as the music person. And I kept learning more about it and got more and more into it until eventually, after years of kicking and screaming and ignoring the call, I said, okay, I'll become a minister. And right then is when I met.
Right.
So that's our history is we met right as I was starting school, excuse me, which actually is part of what Z helped me decide to finally go answer the call. And then my having gone and being in school inspired Z to go sooner than they thought they were going to. So we got each other into school and then graduated together because I took longer on purpose so that we could graduate together.
And I have to say, so at the time we are based in Santa Rosa, but we now have our ministry now as it is we don't have a pulpit ministry. We're online and traveling. We just got back from a 4-month tour. So we provide a lot of content online and then go to where we're invited to places. We do actually right now as primarily Centers for Spiritual Living and Unity centers as well.
And board retreats and things like that.
Board retreats, and we do workshops and concerts and Sunday morning talk and music and all kinds of stuff. And
Whatever
then
works.
we offer a lot of things online. And I have to give credit where credit is due. We used to go to the Centers for Spiritual Living in Santa Rosa. That was our home
That's where we
church before. That's where we met. And the prayer weave, because you mentioned so there's two things you wanted to talk about. So prayer weaves are one of the videos that we put out. We put out guided meditations and music videos for our songs. We have affirmations now. We have a new thing we're calling soul snacks.
I like that.
Those are coming soon for all the folks on our mailing list, which you can just sign up for ohmygodlife.com. On the homepage, you just sign up for the mailing list. But anyway, the prayer weaves, the first time I heard a prayer weave was Reverend Edward Viljoen, who is still the senior minister at Center for Spiritual Living Santa Rosa, and Linda Webb-Kakaba, who is no longer with us, but at the time she was the music director. I mean, she's on the other side. She's not at the center anymore.
Right.
But the two of them did a very similar thing to what we do now.
And I was doing it back then at the same time with Edward on Wednesday nights.
Yeah.
Because I was the music person on Wednesday nights back then. Linda wasn't covering the Wednesdays. So
the idea is you do a song.
I think it might have been Edward's idea.
Okay.
I don't know. Did Linda do humming musical?
I don't know. We might have upped it a notch. So
I think that's new.
When I first heard Edward and Linda do it, it was the musician sings, and then there's prayer, and then the musician comes back and sings. What we do now, because it's also what we do with what we call our word songs, which is where I'm doing spoken word and Melissa does the music, is when I'm doing the prayer or when I'm speaking in the word songs, Melissa will vocalize underneath, sometimes with words like echoing what I'm saying.
Usually not.
So that adds another.
And the word song, sometimes I can do the words singing, as an echo kind of thing, and it's not distracting. In a prayer, I used to try that, and then we got feedback that it was really distracting to have me do singing words. So I just ooh and ah.
Right.
But
You ooh and ah.
But my experience of it is like fun. I mean, like I get goosebumps sometimes when Z's praying and I'm oohing and ahhing.
I do too. I do too. I love it. And just as a point of interest, I met you guys on my very first day of ministerial school.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's fun.
That's really cool.
We were there to welcome you.
Yeah.
Wait, where was that? How was that?
It was outside of San Jose. We were at a retreat in San Jose.
Yep, I remember that. Yep.
Center. And I met you the very first day that I was there. And the person I was there with dropped out of ministerial school like 3 weeks later.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So we've met other people like that. Like, this friend told me there's someone we met that said, their best friend said, we have to do this together. And then never showed up,
dropped out.
Never went to school. And they are still a minister, the other one. So,
it happens.
We get here however we're supposed to get.
I remember that retreat in Northern California.
Yeah.
That was our last retreat.
It was your last one. And
we were doing the music with a bunch of other folks. There was a lot of us there. That was big. A cool retreat because it was a really
cool retreat, and that was the first time I heard you do the I Am rap, and I just went.
Yeah.
That's part of the reason that is so precious to my heart. So
cool.
Go ahead on and talk some more about. I want to know where I Am. Oh my God, life came from. I mean, it's not something you expect just walking down the street that two people are going to graduate from ministerial school at the same time and create this huge web thing called Oh My God, Life.
Yes. Well,
where did the name come from? I love the name.
Should we? Because it's actually connected to the Oh My God practice.
It is, and it started. So I will say my beginning of it, and that is that when I first came to this philosophy and started to learn that my thinking and the way I believed was co-creating my reality, I learned prayer and meditation, and I learned the type of prayer that we call powerful prayer, affirmative prayer. And in the Centers for Spiritual Living, there's a specific 5-step prayer treatment. But I was practicing this prayer that specifically comes from the belief, the knowing, whatever you want to say, that what we believe with the emotion attached to it creates, helps to shape our reality. And so I sat down one time to pray about relationship. And I realized that what I wanted to get it narrowed down. What is it I really want? Not like, oh, he needs to look like, no, back then I didn't know I was gay. That's a whole other story. But I'm totally gay and very in love with my gender rich beloved. But at the time I was thinking I was straight, as I thought for a long time. Still can't believe that I thought that, but I did. And I was trying to imagine what it was I really wanted and get it down to like the real qualities, right? Instead of, oh, they need to be like this little detailed thing, but just like the basic thing. What is it I want? I realized I want someone who is like madly in love with me, really wants to be in relationship with me. And I feel the same about them because I had never had that, both sides. I had one or the other. And when I began, so then I was like, okay, then I imagine having it. And I feel what I'm going to feel like when I have it. And I was in my meditation with this whole thing, working this out. And I realized, okay, so what does it feel like to have that? And I was like, oh, I have no idea. I can't even imagine. And then I realized, well, if I can't even imagine it, then how is it going to become my reality? So I worked in my own practice with that. Now, I'm also a very auditory person, and I realized that for me, especially, I think it's true for all of us, but we have emotional responses to what we think. And so what I realized is I could find a back door into making myself feel the way I would feel when I have it by saying to myself what I would say to myself if I were in that situation. And the phrase that came to me, for me, it's my go-to when I'm happy about something phrase is, oh my God. And so I started my practice where I would say, oh my God, I'm so grateful to be in love like this and have someone love me who I love so much. And like that. And I worked that for months and months until I met my ex-husband, who I was with for 14 years, until I realized I was gay after I met him. So, but that practice is one that I kept teaching. And now you should take it because you should tell your experience with it. That same.
For which part, like for the how we named the ministry, or the oh my God practice?
Either
I could
one.
go in two directions. Well,
it's both. They're both connected,
say first,
right?
that when we were trying to come up with a name for the ministry, I sometimes I get downloads from Spirit early in the morning, first thing in the morning, and so one morning we were just really trying to figure out what do we want to call it. It's going to be something outside the box. It's not going to be a church. And so one morning I just got, oh my God, it has to involve that phrase, like that, because I already knew about that practice that Melissa had. And it originally was going to be, oh my God, we didn't know, we're just going to call it, oh my God, like what, ohmygod.com was of course already taken. And we were working with someone at the beginning of our ministry. It just happened, Spirit just gave us, at the time, we had someone who was a friend and also a neighbor who was very much like in our life, was around. And she did marketing stuff. And she said, oh, you should call it, oh my God, life, just to give it, like, anchor it more with something.
And both of us have this thing where we live our lives downstream, is the phrase we use. That's an Abraham Hicks term. But we know when it feels right? When it goes clunk is the way that I describe it. And both of us, when our friend said that to us, Barbara said, what about, oh my God, life? And we were like, yes,
right.
That's it.
Right.
So that's where the name came from.
Yeah. So that
came from that practice first.
Yeah, that's that portion. And so then the other part, the oh my God practice, is something that we developed. And so it's a gratitude practice. It's a 3-part gratitude practice. We developed it initially because we were doing a gratitude practice every day, like a regular gratitude practice. And then the next element that developed from it was Melissa. Well, we had it started with you because you were having some challenges, and I said,
and we were committed to a gratitude practice, and I was newly with Z and divorcing from my doctor husband, David, fabulous human being, one of my favorites, still one of my dearest friends. But selfish as one could say he didn't want to support me anymore. What? Anyway, so there I was. I literally had just started school. So I'm back in school as a student. And I'm realizing that I'm gay. So I was in a state of shock anyway. And I'm falling in love with Z, which was very lovely. That was the other side. But I also had, in my years with him, become a supported wife. I didn't have a practice. I didn't have income. And so I started going into debt really quickly because, of course, I had no income. And for me, in particular, money stuff would take me at that point into a very toxic place. So I was in shame and rage and all kinds of toxic, hard feelings. And Z, because we at night would do this gratitude practice, said to me, you need, before we do our regular practice, to start finding a few things at least that you're grateful for in the exact situation you're in with these finances and everything, to start focusing on the positive aspects of your situation. And I was, of course, my response at the time, besides swear words and rude gestures at them, was there's nothing to be grateful for about my situation. It's so horrible and blah, blah, blah. But finally, because we have an agreement to listen to each other when we invite each other to awaken spiritually in any way, I did. And I thought, well, I'm actually learning in a way I never had to before, to live within my means, to like understand what that means and to do it. And I'm learning to set goals and balance and love myself even in the midst of things like this. And the biggest piece for me is that I know that from being in this situation, I am learning what I have known as an intellectual thing, which is that spirit, life itself, is my source. My ex-husband was not my source, right? And so literally within days of Z inviting me to do this and me starting to do this every night, I started getting phone calls. I mean, it was weird at the time. It was shocking and weird. I mean, we were involved in the community at Centers for Spiritual Living Santa Rosa, but like people were just like suddenly thinking of me as their possible coach in either music or spirituality, and just started calling me. I mean, yeah, it was bizarre. So fast and sudden and fabulous that Z decided I probably should start doing this too.
Right. So we already had like the basic gratitude that for the Oh My God practice we call Oh My God presence. And then we added Oh My God projects, which is what we just described. So that's something that we had heard already. I don't know if that originated with somebody, but the idea is if you have something that's challenging in your life, you call it a project as opposed to like a downer or
challenge,
a suck fest or whatever, right? Like there's other things you can call it. And so the Oh My God projects is this idea that we take something that's feeling challenging for us and we put it in our Oh My God projects. And of course, as part of the Oh My God practice, we've developed ways to do this and certain kind of approaches you can take. And this is a practice we do every day. This is our daily practice. During COVID, we wrote a book about it. It's like our COVID baby is the book, the Oh My God practice, it's called. And then the third component of the Oh My God practice is the Oh My God possibilities. And Melissa already touched on kind of the heart of that with the Oh My God. The Oh My God possibilities is welcoming in future good as if it's here now and giving gratitude for it.
Yep.
So it's this unique 3-part gratitude practice that over time being together, we developed. We do it every
Game
day.
changer.
We did it this morning on our walk.
It continues to change our life for the better over and over.
Yeah.
And our life is really amazing. And I credit it to each other and that practice. I mean, and when we don't do the practice for whatever circumstantial life reasons, we start to notice it pretty quickly.
Yeah, because we do it a lot together when we walk. And so if for some reason one of us isn't feeling well and we're not walking together or something, we'll do it when walking. We'll also do it when driving.
Yep.
So if we have a period where we're not walking or driving, which is not that often, but it happens. So that's just been, and what's really fun, because we, in our 4-month tour, for example, that we just did, we teach several workshops. We also teach the Enneagram, and we have a whole other practice that we teach too. But we got to teach people the Oh My God practice. And also for folks who don't have access to us where we're showing up live, they can find the book if you go to our website under the products and books, it's there and you can order it. So that's been really fun. We love
the Oh My God practice.
The Oh My God practice. Yeah.
Well,
it has been a very powerful thing for us.
Yeah.
I need to do a commercial for your Oh My God practice book, because what I want you folks to know is that they wrote a wonderful book. It's user friendly. It makes sense. It's in nice, easy to digest, bite-sized pieces. It works. It gives you feedback. I mean, the process gives you feedback so that you didn't know all this, did you? The process.
No, I like you really.
Can you say more about the process itself gives you feedback?
Well, I'm a real cerebral person. I have hidden between the covers of a book for 70 years now from everything that you could possibly ever hide from. And I think a lot about what it is I'm reading. What I found when I was reading the Oh My God process was that it gave me who, what, why, where, when. Told me what to do, told me how to do it, told me why to do it, told me what I could expect to come out of it, and then gave me the opportunity to notice that all of the things it said were true.
Wow.
Ah,
Cool.
that's
So
nice.
that's what I mean about it. The process itself gives you feedback if you are engaged in it.
Right.
Yes, you do
You have
still
to
have
do it.
You
You
still
have
have
to do it.
You still have to do it. It's true.
Be engaged in the process.
That's
But
true.
I've been a gratitude junkie for decades, so it just really, spoke to me in big loud words. But I just want people to know this is a nothing will do the work for you. But this book will make it as easy as it can be to do the work yourself.
That's really
wonderful.
nice.
Thank you. That's wonderful.
Can we quote that? We
Yeah,
gotta get
that's
that down.
wonderful.
To you in writing if you want me to.
Yeah,
You can put
absolutely.
it on the back of the next book I read.
There we
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's really.
About Oh My God Life, because I'm pretty sure it wasn't just sprung full grown like Athena. I figure, how did you start? What did you do first? What's your favorite part of it? What's the most challenging part of it? Answer all those questions.
Okay, well, we actually kind of started when we were still in school because we started doing music together. I was initially I was playing keyboards. I play keyboards. We both do. There's some back there.
There's the keyboard, yeah.
So I was playing keyboards for Melissa singing, and this was at the Center for Spiritual Living in Santa Rosa, as well as some other places. And then when I was in ministerial school, I had an assignment for Metaphysical Bible. The instructor said, do something creative. And I heard a voice in my head that said, do a rap. And I'm like, I'm not going to do that. And needless to say, I did listen, mostly because Melissa encouraged me to listen.
I mean, really.
And then
you get a voice from spirit saying you have to do something. You got to listen.
And so that was in 2012. I still remember because that's when the Mayan calendar said that's like the end of the world. And that's when we started the word songs and when we got married. So there you go.
Was the end of our world.
We started doing that when we were still in school. So that was, starting to emerge. I'd also started doing my Life in ZD, Goofball's Guide to Enlightenment blog. That had started already.
Was Dear Melly already happened?
And Dear Melly hadn't happened yet, but that came soon after. So Melissa has a blog, a spiritual advice column, Dear Melly, Advice for the Spiritually Inclined. And we're what they now, creative has become a verb, a noun. We are creatives. We just like making stuff, right? So soon after we graduated from school, we started to get invited to go places, and we're ministers now. So we got invited to speak as well as do music. Mm-hmm. And so that part just really has flowed organically.
We actually started off thinking that we would not be, because we did decide kind of right before or right after graduating that we were going to try out doing what we're doing in online and traveling ministry. So it's a nonprofit
that's in there. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it took us a while to get to that, but once we did, so we had that in mind, but then I totally just lost my train of thought.
Well, I can take
what were you saying?
I was going to say, we actually had one of the ministers in school offered that as a vision that you got excited about. And at the time, because I don't say yes to something until I can do it yesterday, right? I'm not going to say yes if I don't know how to get there and how to start right now. And so when Melissa first said, it's going to be this online and traveling, this whole thing, I said, no.
Z actually said, I will never do that.
Yeah.
And then 4 years later.
Yeah. I was given a whole vision.
I know what we're going to do. We're going to do this online thing and then traveling thing. And I'm like,
yeah.
This is what I said 4 years ago. And Z said, yeah, but now we can do it. I'm like,
yeah, because I got the vision. I finally caught the fever right as we were about to graduate.
Right.
And at that point, everything was able to.
Now we know this about ourselves. I catch ideas or visions way before it's time to do them. And I have a tendency to think that we can do more than we can at a time than we can really do. So that's the other thing that Z just doesn't do. Right.
Yeah.
So
I've also been given visions ahead of time, but I also am more likely to go, okay, that's coming.
Right.
but it's
Someday.
It's not necessarily here yet.
Yeah.
So Melanie recognizes something as or Z recognizes something as a vision of coming attractions, and Millie says, "Oh, look, it's here."
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's
time now.
It's the movie. We're in the theater right now. Give me my popcorn. The movie's about to start. Let's watch it now. And I'm like, no,
it's not
yet. So, but it's been really awesome, and it's emerged over time, and it's exactly what that minister saw a long time ago, and it's the same thing I was given. And I would say our favorite, because one of your questions was what's our favorite part. We always say our favorite thing is, well, we love every part of it, because we'll say, even when we're like both sitting in our offices on our laptops taking care of email, we love that.
So happy doing it.
We even love the administrative day-to-day being at home. Today I filed our yearly sales tax
it was so exciting
report with the state of California, and I came in to gleefully announce to Melissa that I had done this, and it was fun.
High 10. I mean, because the thing is, we both are these kind of freaks. To people who aren't like this, we're freaks. To other people, they're like, well, yeah. Like, I read this thing, and Z said, Z's not like this, but I read this thing. Somebody shared it from, I don't know what, some other platform. And it said, I'm one of these people that I love to check off things from my to-do list, so much so that when I do an item that is not on the to-do list, I write it down so I can check it off. I do that. Like, we just both love to check things off our list.
I am right there with you. It's a big deal. Checking it. And the more things I can check off, the happier I am.
Exactly.
Yes, exactly.
It's very fun.
Thursday is the day when I have the most things on my calendar, so I just check it like crazy.
Yes, it's very fun. It's very
so we really love everything. And that said, we often do say that probably our favorite of the favorites is doing our word songs or prayer weave, I would say too, because that's the same music, spoken word, live with a band.
Oh, yeah.
So getting to play with other musicians and doing our original material, music and word, and then to share with other folks who are there with us. Like, I think that's
the pinnacle.
And I love speaking too. Maybe more even than you do. I love
more Z's passion. Z's genius.
And our talks
as speaker
are pretty much stories. Like, when we go to a center, the way we do ministry, the way we do speaking sermons, is we share stories, like Dharma stories from our life. And I love doing that.
I enjoy speaking, but nowhere near, like, I just think that it's Z's thing, and I'm good enough at it.
Very good speaker. So,
but
I've heard.
But I love creating our videos.
She loves that too.
That is.
I am in awe of those videos on so many levels. I mean, but because this is how my mind works. I'm listening to the music. I'm looking at the words. I'm looking at the pictures. I'm going, where did they find those? Those are such perfect. Did they hire people to make those faces, or did they go out and find those faces floating in the ether someplace?
Yeah. I mean, so we actually pay and
done.
Thank you. And I've certainly gotten better.
It's been really seamless for her, because she uses Final Cut Pro, which is the same Mac system, Apple system as the audio.
Well, the audio is not Mac, but it's Mac compatible, Apple compatible.
Right.
So the program I've been using for literally 30 years, maybe, probably at least 30 years, since MIDI became a thing, which for musicians, they're like, probably a lot of musicians will be like, wait, I don't know when that was, because it already existed. But when I was growing up, MIDI wasn't a thing. So MIDI is multi-instrumental digital interface.
Yes.
And that's where you can plug instruments into a computer and edit. Didn't used to be able to do that, right? So you used to have to go in the studio and sing it and play it until you got it good enough. And then that was it. So now that's not how it is. But I've been using this program called Digital Performer. Now it's just called Performer, because it's not digital anymore. Anyway, it's audio and digital, right? Because that's what technology has allowed us to do. But so that when I went into Final Cut Pro, which is the video program,
Editing
it's a
software.
lot the same. It's really similar. Like I already felt like I knew my way around. And then I had a dear friend, Steve DeLapp, who knew a lot about it. And he
and
helped
also
me,
you've had
and
great Final Cut offers just today. You put in a call to Final Cut to
Apple
help.
support.
So you've done this like, but you've done this like you know our ministry is now we're this many we're 9 now. So it's been this process of like little by little you learn more and more and more and more, right?
Oh yeah, they're way better now than they were when we started.
Yeah, and we actually are part of a service where we get those really nice professional videos, because initially we were filming more of our own stuff and we're like, yeah, it looks way better this stuff like professional photographers have put together.
So we pay an annual fee
so
to
we
have
get videos. Yeah.
The footage that we have the rights to use in our videos. So I just download them. I just put in, it's like searching on the internet, but in their platform, I search for the words I want,
and then
like, I don't know, I'm trying to think of the word. I just finished
like
a new video.
Unhappy, crying,
gratitude or love. Well, love is too vague, and then you get all these options, and then I download them and use them. And
we have the option, because we do also have a music studio, so that we can we can do a higher quality audio ourselves.
Right.
But not the video. So anyway, it's been a process.
It has definitely been a process through the 9 years.
Yeah.
But I had no idea. I'm sorry, what?
I said, there's one more thing I want to give a commercial for, and then I'll ask you some more questions. But one of the things that I have enjoyed so much ever since all those years ago when I connected with Oh My God Life is every year on my birthday, I get a video. Every year I get a wonderful video. I know you write one video and you send it to everybody, but I don't care. My birthday's in January. It's my birthday, and the rest of
you get it early.
You get it early.
Yeah, no, we're
getting the sneak peek.
I'm at the end of the line.
We basically create it for you, and then we share it with everybody else.
Everybody else, that's right. And it just makes me smile for days.
Oh, awesome. Well, that is
our favorite.
That is actually probably, that's another one of our top favorite things we do. And we love hearing from people about getting their birthday video. And we now also have that more streamlined, because we used to, it started with you sending people birthday cards
back in the day,
and then emailing a song, and of course
an MP3 of a recording before we could do video and share it. This is speaking again to how old we are, but it's so fun. It's so fun to know for us that our friends on our mailing list on their birthday, assuming they've signed up with giving us their birthday, that at 12:01 a.m. or 12:02 a.m., they are getting this video that is for them to celebrate their birthday. I mean, it's because I think birthdays are really important. They're an acknowledgement of life. Let's be real. We're exhilarated, life, good, happy, grateful people. Our life is rocking. We're really good. And we are aware that life is hard. Making it through life, hard stuff
can be
challenging.
Happens.
We all have experienced it. We've known each other long enough, the three of us, to know we've watched each other go through hard things. And not all of it is like who we are in our perky, happy mode, which is, thank God, from doing our work as humans, when we pay attention to our thinking and our heart, we do healing work and we bring it to spirit over and over again, and we do this work, then life is actually less of the hard, and the hard is not as hard, and it gets better and better and better, which is why we're as darned perky as we are. And we are aware life is hard, and so we love the fact that one day a year when we can say to someone, you just made it through another year of life, and life is hard, and we're aware of that. Whether this year was hard for you or not, you've made it another year, and darn it, that should be celebrated. And we celebrate that you made it through another year, and we do that by sending you this video.
Yeah.
It's just, we love knowing that our friends are getting that every day.
I look forward to it. I look forward to it for a week before my birthday. Oh, pretty soon I'm going to get my video. Pretty soon I'm going to get
Sherry, I do too. So this is what's fun.
Yeah, she watches it as if she's like, I didn't create it.
So first of all, one thing that's funny is like we just got back from a 4-month tour a month and a half ago. And now pretty much usually our schedule is that we are either just because my birthday is May 24th. So we're either just returning or we're not back yet from being on tour. Because it's our spring tour.
We always tour in the spring. Yeah.
So we don't stream from on the road. We don't have the Wi-Fi to stream things. So I can't watch it on my birthday usually, unless we happen to be near someone else's Wi-Fi that we can use. And so I save it, and I know for weeks that it's coming because I made the thing and posted it in December to YouTube, but it's private. Like no one can see it unless they get the link in their video.
Right.
And then I save it till we come home, and then I watch it for days. I save it. I don't just watch it once and delete it because it makes me so happy.
Melissa's like the biggest fan of all of our stuff. You and Sharri both, I think. But she always watches the videos. Like when we send our, people on our mailing list get a free inspirational content every Tuesday. So, and 2 times a month, that's a video. And so when Melissa, she gets that email in her inbox, she'll watch the video like she's never seen it before.
Well, so this is my thing. When I'm making the video, I have to watch it so many times, but I have very specific things I'm watching and listening for.
Yeah.
The timing and the pacing and the captioning, because I caption them myself.
You're watching and listening from like an editor standpoint.
Exactly. I'm not like experiencing it, right? So when it comes into my email, and when we're on the road, I have a separate email box in my email, and I save them all to watch. I still have a bunch that I haven't watched yet from when we were gone. But I like to watch them because I should get to experience them as a consumer, and so I do.
Well, it's also good too because
occasionally
you'll discover something needs to happen or whatever. So anyway, but yes.
So I have to say I love our work.
Yes, we do. We love everything about it, and we feel grateful, and we really appreciate you. We appreciate the show that you're doing this. We appreciate you and your energy. We have known you for quite a while now, because that was about 9 years ago, I think.
Your love and your support is very clear.
Yeah. So
I want to ask you one more question before I ask you my questions I ask everybody. And this is what's the biggest challenge that you have with Oh My God Life? Or what's your growing edge, if you like that terminology better?
Well, what flashed into my head, and you probably have a different answer.
Okay.
But I'll say what flashed into my head, because this is partly my personality type, which I touched on before in talking about how I always think that we can do too much stuff, is that like managing all the things we're doing.
Yeah.
And not getting impatient about like the next book coming out or the next album coming out, because we're in the midst of both of those right now, and I want them done, but I have to keep creating the videos that go out every 2 a month, and so there's a lot that we're doing, just keeping it all going.
Yeah.
And so sometimes those extra additional things. So for me, I think the biggest challenge is just all the balls in the air.
Yeah. I think for me too, and to not get overwhelmed by it, and to remember to enjoy ourselves every step of the way.
In the process,
it's easier when we're at a gig and we're doing music and it's with a band and we can like, whoa, this is so fun. But then when we're home, because that's when we're juggling content and creating content, then that can feel kind of overwhelming, right? And we're, there was so much I want to get done today. We didn't get it all done. But also too, on the road, it can also feel kind of overwhelming of, getting to the next place or whatever. So I think it's, remembering to stop and enjoy it. which I think we're getting better at.
I do
think,
too.
I think we've gotten
Absolutely.
better and better at that, and we're also allowing. A big thing we're doing both home and on the road is allowing more space in our days. We're
Let
just
me offer
scheduling
you,
it in.
let me offer you an image that might help when you feel that you're juggling a chainsaw, a bowling ball, and a raw egg. I actually saw somebody on a comic relief show back in 1994 or 5 do that.
Wow.
He took a chainsaw, a bowling ball, and an apple. And every time the apple came around, he took a bite out of it.
Wow.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
So he threw the core out and said, "Send me another one," and they threw him a raw egg.
Wow.
And so he was juggling it. And of course, eventually, not realizing he's got an egg in his hand instead of an apple, he went, and of course, egg went everywhere, and that was the end of the egg. So just don't bite the egg.
There you go.
When you feel that you're in that juggling place, just say to yourself, don't bite the egg.
Just don't bite the egg.
Well, especially don't bite the chainsaw either. That would be.
Yeah, no, that would be
Now,
one.
and I'm gonna say the chainsaw was not turned on.
Oh, good.
Oh, that's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
But still.
But it was still a big, honking, awkward thing.
Oh, yeah.
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 The weight, that's
And
the thing with juggling. The weight
Oh,
is
yeah.
so different.
So
Which
different.
actually is
Not
like
have
our
it common.
yeah, some of the stuff we juggle is light and some of the stuff is
And
really
I love
heavy.
apples.
So I have to give a shout out for this one, if I may,
Oh, of course.
because I am so, so blessed, not only to be with the love of my life and such a sweet, sweet heart and brilliant mind of a human being and hysterically funny. So I have my in-house comedy channel right here. So all of that, but I also want to say that with all those balls in the air and all those videos we're doing and all of the touring scheduling and the camping and all of the millions of details that we deal with all the time, this is the tracker. This is our Excel spreadsheet right here.
Well, or
now Z uses Excel spreadsheets.
I have access to the Excel.
No, but you create them and you use them and you keep them going.
I love
so I have my little to-do list.
Excel spreadsheet.
I have my list of what videos I'm creating, when to post them where, and all those things. But I'm constantly checking in with the encyclopedia about
what I'm doing. It takes two. So we both have strengths, and like I refuse to make phone calls, and Melissa will actually make phone calls. And Melissa, I will have these to-do lists and get overwhelmed and procrastinate, and she'll just be like, getting it done, do first thing, now do it. So we both have strengths, and our strengths complement each other
very
nicely.
Yes.
It makes it very fun. So
good.
And we're very blessed that we like each other so much.
And that is a non-trivial detail.
Yeah,
it is because we love this
thing, but love without like is crippled.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we have a lot of like
fun doing this stuff.
Y'all are just swimming in like. I mean, it's obvious. Okay. So now I have 4 questions that I asked all my guests, and you can. I'm going to ask them one at a time, and you can either answer them together or you can give separate answers. Doesn't matter.
Okay.
And
it's not going to be like the Newlywed Game where we have to guess what we say.
No, it's not. No, it's not. These are questions that you're really hoping I'm not going to ask you. So,
oh, great.
There's the first one. How does, oh my God, life, how does what you do in your ministry, how does that promote, enhance, develop, pick your own verb, conscious evolution?
Oh, wow. Well, we have a covenant, and in terms of what we're offering for the world, we are creating products to inspire others to know their divinity. That is underlying everything we create. And I think as more
radical joy is our key phrase, because what we have found for ourselves is that as we do our work, for lack of a less touchy-feely cliche phrase, but as we do our work, we live more and more in radical joy.
Yeah.
Not a surfacey la 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 kind of joy, but like a real, just a joy for life, even as we navigate the hard stuff.
And the things that we offer the world by connecting people to their own divinity, that connects them to that inner joy. So that's our short answer for that one.
I'll take it. I'll take it. I never get the same answer twice and they all make sense. Okay, here's the second one, which is going to sound the same, but it's not.
Okay.
How does, oh my God, life, what you do, who you are, how you live, how does that promote, enhance, unveil, pick your own verb, world peace?
Well, I think when people are connected to all that we just said, their inner divinity, their own sense of joy, they are naturally going to be harmonious beings. They're going to be way less likely to pick fights on the small scale, start wars on the large scale, right? The more we know ourselves as divine beings and other people as divine beings, the more we're going to live a life of peace in our own lives and as a whole on the planet.
And as we have compassion for ourselves and know ourselves, we have compassion automatically for others, because we realize, oh, that way that I used to reject myself, I'm just human doing my best. And so are they.
Yeah.
Just like me. Okay. All right. Here's the next one. So far, you're betting 1,000. Okay. Here's the next one. Presuming that every single detail in every aspect of your ministry, in every aspect of your lives, every teeny tiny infinitesimal little detail goes exactly the way you want it to go. What does, oh my God, yeah, I know. What does, oh my God, life look like 10 years from now?
Oh,
wow. Well, okay. The tricky thing about that,
we keep our hands off.
is, yeah, we have a spirit gave us a kind of a dictate early on that things were going to go a lot better if we didn't try to, we took our sticky little fingers off the control panel. So we have an idea, vision.
Hard, though.
Hard. We have a vision, the online and traveling and continuing to grow.
Touching more lives.
And so I can say that, hey, 10 years from now, we are going places we've never been before to perform. We're reaching that many more people online. It's just continuing to grow and build.
And as you asked our favorite thing, I would add, and I'm sure you would agree, that we're more often getting to do that favorite thing of with a band for an audience, the more the better, more people the better. Because there's more energy, more love, more connection, more joy when there's more people.
Yeah.
So
and our Patreon, we didn't even touch on that. We have so many different things going on. Patreon is a membership site that we have, so folks can support us there. And I think it's okay to out you as one of our patrons. I know,
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And so that's an amazing thing. And so I would say that with the growth, that growing as well, and having the opportunity to meet some other amazing new thought leaders, like all of that.
Yes.
We're open to all of that.
We're open to all of it and would love all of that. The more, the better kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right. We have, so I want to add here that we are just in a new phase personally in our relationship with that question, because we kind of both used to think we might retire or slow down when I'm around 85. I'm a few years older than Z. So when I'm about 85 years old, and we just recently decided we don't want to ever stop.
Yeah, we always want to do this.
Because we're engaging with life itself, and that is what keeps us young and happy and healthy. And our brains healthy and all those things.
And we might scale it down once we hit our mid 80s. Maybe we'll slow down a little, but we want to always be doing this.
Yeah.
In some
whatever level.
That's the perfect answer, because here's the last question. Will you come back?
Sure, of course.
And I've got the spreadsheet out because I don't let people escape. The next opening I have is May 14th of next year. Can I pencil you in?
No. So here's here's the thing. We don't do bookings more than every 2 years anywhere because we have too much going on.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
So that is, how much we love you.
I know you.
So you can know that it is with love in my heart. And see, this is the thing. I would have to say, this is the way we are better at ministry and life, is we have healthy boundaries, because what we were finding is when we tried to be as connected as we want to with everyone, we actually were like getting sick and stuff. So so now we actually have to say no. And what we will say is, because we love you so much, we will commit to 2 years from now.
Yeah.
Because that's the soonest we can do.
Oh, did you just
Oh,
freeze?
she froze.
It looked like she froze. Something happened.
You
froze.
there we go.
You froze for a second.
Okay, so I'll take 2 years from now. I'll do that.
Cool.
I got no problem scheduling it 2 years from now. Yippee.
Perfect.
Thank you.
2025.
All righty. And so, folks, I want you to know that you want to be sure you're here 2 years from today, so that you don't miss these two, because they are so cool. And next week, our guest is Reverend Paul Hoyt from the Center for Conscious Living in New Jersey. He is delightful. We had a great time last time he was here, and I know you're going to have a good time next time, because all kinds of wonderful things have been happening in his life. Look forward to seeing you then. Thank you so much for joining us. Bye-bye.
Amazing. Amazing, you will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things.
On behalf of everyone at New Thought Media Network, thank you for being a member of our virtual family. Your financial contributions help share the New Thought message with people from around the world. Please visit and contribute at www.ntmedia.org/donate. New Thought Media Network, come be you. And please like, share, and subscribe. Until next time.